Now, depending on the type of vehicle you're using, there's certain steps to follow when you're shutting down and starting up a vehicle. So the first step, if you're driving a automatic transmission, that means automatic transmission, the vehicle is automatically shifting the gears for you. So when you're starting the engine up, the first step is apply the parking brake if you haven't already. Step two, make sure the vehicle is in neutral and that the vehicle is in a safe position, also known as safe start. Step three, you want to turn the key in the on position and then wait for a few seconds. Step four, turn the key to the start and push the start button in order to start the vehicle. Step five, if the engine does not start within 15 to 20 seconds, you want to turn off the key and then wait for a minute before turning the key on again or starting it up again. Then step six, check all of your instruments, such as all of the gauges on your dashboard, and the oil gauge should rise to a normal operating level within 3 to 5 seconds in warm weather. Now, if this does not happen, you want to shut down the engine because otherwise that will result in engine damage. Now, if you're driving a manual transmission, however, which is also known as a stick shift, then you want to follow 7 steps to safely start up your engine when driving a manual transmission. And the first step is apply the parking brake if you haven't applied it already. Step two, you want to depress by pushing down that clutch pedal completely to the floor and then make sure that truck is in neutral. Step three, you want to turn the ignition switch or key into the on position. Step four, you want to turn the key and start and push that start button to actually start the vehicle. Step five, if the engine doesn't start between 10 to 20 seconds, then you got to turn the key off and wait for a minute before actually starting the vehicle back up again. Step six, once the engine has started and transmission, the stick shift or gear lever, once that's in neutral, then you want to ease off the clutch. Step seven, you want to check all of your instruments, such as the gauges that's on the dashboard. And then the oil gauge should rise to a normal operating range level in 3 to 5 seconds in warm weather. Now, if this does not happen, you want to shut the vehicle down because otherwise that will result in engine damage. Now, when you're safely warming up your engine, you want to run the engine at a low revolution per minute, also known as RPMs level, between 800 to 1,000, in order to warm up and circulate the oils because that will help build up the oil pressure. Now, during the warm up, cylinder walls will become coated, the bearings will be lubricated, and the coolant level will actually increase and the air pressure will build up if you're driving a vehicle with air brakes. Usually, short period of idling time is required, but you have to check with your operator's manual or ask your experts, such as a supervisor or anyone that is doing the maintenance of your vehicle. Then you want to avoid excessive idling so you can truly save on fuel and reduce the engine wear and tear of the vehicle. And then just be aware of any local, state, and federal regulations and laws that will stop you from actually idling your vehicle engine. Because in certain states and areas, there are rules, laws, and regulations that can prohibit you from idling your vehicle for a certain period of time. Now, you want to also keep the RPMs low. The engine is still warming up at this time, and then apply the foot pedal slowly to warm up the vehicle engine until the water temperature reaches about between 170 to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. So main thing is to look at the temperature gauge. And then when operating a manual transmission, you want to keep the RPMs low and avoid high RPMs when accelerating in first gear because you want to apply slowly, gradually speed up. So then you want to shift to the highest gear possible when you're keeping all acceleration nice, smooth, and easy. Now, after a long day, or if you're trying to turn the vehicle off, before you do that, you have to cool the engine down, also known as engine cool down, because it allows heat to dissipate and disappear. And it's just as important as the warm up. So it varies depending on the engine that you have, the trip that you're doing, and the cargo that you're carrying or what is being transported. So the engine shutdown can occur, and the result will be not enough time to cool down the engine. So that's why you want to have time to have that engine cool down. Now, the steps, if you're driving an automatic transmission, the 3 simple steps to safely shut down the vehicle's engine is step one, to completely stop and put the vehicle in neutral. Step 2, you want to set the parking brake by applying the brakes. And then step 3, turn the key or switch off. Now, to shut the engine off in a manual transmission, also known as a stick shift, you have 3 simple steps to safely shut down the vehicle's engine when driving a manual transmission. Step 1, you want to depress or push in that clutch and move the gear shift lever to neutral. Then step 2, you want to set the parking brake by applying the brakes. And then step 3, you want to turn the key or the switch off. Hey, BET Trainer here. Listen, if you really had true value out of this video, go ahead and click that like button and share some honest comments about this video, because this is going to help other people as well see the video and get the value information, so that way they can be inspired by what you're doing right now as well. So also, if you want to get the latest updates, go ahead and click the subscribe button, so then you can be able to always be updated on the next instant video that will be put out. So again, go ahead and do that. And this video was sponsored by BET Life Services and CDL for Life.